Put it in swing, flat, flicked header, 1-0. What a goal by old Ginger, as David Moyes calls him. James Collins returned.
Bueno in the penalty area. There's a comeback for him if he can do it. Cameron's with it, surely 1-0. It is going to be 1-0 to Huddersfield Town.
Collins heads it away, drops, Gosling, 1-1. Gosling gets the equaliser.
It's central, it's 30 yards out. Defoe takes it! It's a magnificent goal! A tremendous free kick from Stephen Defoe. Kept it in well all right, back onto his right foot. Cross towards Mahrez at the back post. Aurelio Gomez can't keep it out. And Riyad Mahrez has given Leicester the lead. Our goal before half-time would help them, and it might just come for Morawagwe. At the back post on his first ever Premier League start. That's a great ball there, Morata. And Chelsea off to the perfect start in the second half. Young's looking for the same ball. He nearly got it out in the goal. It's a super finish this time from Lingard. With the back of his heel, he's flicked it past the goalkeeper.
Corner to Bournemouth, taken quickly. Loaded into the West Ham penalty area. Shalfaki, it's 2-1. Bournemouth from 1 down and now 2-1 on.
Towards the back post, it's 1-1. Ramadan Sami at the back post. Comes a corner, last edge, and it's a lovely header from Marcus Alonso. Cleverly delivers the ball to the back post, and it's found its way home, I'm sure. Doucouré scored. It's Doucouré who's given Watford the lead.
81 on goal. Begovic slips on Anavic. Oh, he won't get an easier goal. Marko Anavic equalises. Ball into the box. Back post. What a chance it is. It's turned in for 3-2. Marko Anavic gets his second goal.
Into a crowd of players. Lingard has equalised for United in the 91st minute.
Ball in, Ake across the face. It's 3 each.
Well, he said, look, I'll have a look at it. And he said that the linesman putting up his flag only means that he was drawing his attention. I've got to say, I've never heard of it, and I can see in your faces, boys, how you're looking at me as I'm answering the question.
Well, the last voice you heard there was David Moyes. I'm going to start with that amazing game at the Vitality Stadium. I was there yesterday. It was absolutely crazy stuff. Let's just run you through the results. Tottenham 5, Southampton 2. Harry Kane with a hat-trick. Breaking Alan Shearer's record of the most Premier League goals in a calendar year, smashing it actually. Manchester United 2, Burnley 2. They had to come from 2-0 behind Jose Mourinho's side to salvage a point thanks to a double from Jesse Lingard in the second half. Liverpool 5, Swansea 0. Liverpool scintillating going forward. Big trouble for Swansea at the bottom of the table. Bournemouth 3, West Ham 3. We'll come on to that in a moment. Chelsea, Clive's old club, beat Brighton by 2 goals to 0. Watford winners against Leicester by 2 goals to 1. That was a big win for Watford. They're on a dismal run of form before that game. It was another 0-0 for Sam Allardyce. West Bromwich Albion 0. Everton 0. So Alan Pardew still struggling really to turn it around at West Bromwich Albion, and the honours were also shared. Huddersfield 1, Stoke 1. Those are all the Boxing Day results so far. Clive, I was at the Vitality. Bournemouth 3-2 down. Nathan Ake heads the ball goalwards. The linesman flags for offside as it hits the back of the net because he correctly spots that he struck Callum Wilson, who was in an offside position. The replays actually also showed that he turned the ball in with his arm. The referee, Bobby Madley, encouraged by Callum Wilson, saying, "I didn't touch it, boss, honestly," persuades the linesman that he didn't see what he thought he saw, and the goal was given. Pick the bones out of that.
Well, it was a strange old scenario, and Bobby Madley's certainly under the scrutiny at the moment, and questions are going to be asked about his future refereeing, I think, because of it. We don't like to see players engulf a referee anymore. I think that was decided a few years ago, and it isn't supposed to happen. However, we've seen now that it does still happen, and I don't know what will happen to the players now that's been itemised as well. The actual situation with the goal, for me, from an assistant referee's position, he's looking across the line. If he's offside, he's offside. And if he's not offside, he's not offside. So it doesn't matter if it strikes him on the arm or not. First decision, he's looking at, and to be honest, it's not a difficult one to get wrong. Sometimes when you see a ball played through between defenders and lines just running down the line really fast, he might get that slightly wrong at times. But he's actually stood there looking at it. It was.
Should he have been stronger, the linesman?
Well, we don't know what was actually said in the conversation. We have to accept that Bobby Madley has overruled him in whatever way he felt correct, and he'll take the brunt of it. I must say that I've been slightly disappointed with assistant referees this season. There's been lots of times in the games, and I've seen plenty of matches. For the fans, of course, is to accept that in some ways the game's given up before it starts. And I think further down the line, I think we might see repercussions of this. However, at the moment, we're seeing, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that's good for the Premier League either. But I think what we're seeing now, come halfway through the season, is we're seeing the managers manage their side. And we talk about player rotation, we talk about the top teams changing players and playing maybe slightly lesser players, should we say, because they feel they're going to beat the teams near the bottom. And now it's happening vice versa, which is a bit of a worry for how the Premier League stands up, in my opinion. But you can understand that a manager looks at where they are at Christmas and they say, right, the main priority for quite a few teams is staying in the Premier League. And the only reason we're like that is because of the financial situation that we find ourselves in. So I can see why he's doing it. I don't think it's particularly right and good for the Premier League, and especially for the fans. I think in time we might see that change slightly.
And as for Manchester City, it will give the Newcastle players a boost that David Silva, one of their key men this season, is not in the A-team, but they're still going to be up against the likes of Bernardo Silva, Aguero, Sterling, De Bruyne. Doesn't make much difference, does it?
Yeah, I think gone are the days when we used to say, well, George Best isn't playing today, so we'll be able to beat Manchester United. I mean, gone are those days. You know, this Manchester City side are awesome. And I think the players that they got available to them, the style in which they play, the confidence, and of course, every time they seem to win every game because they're top of the league and flying. So stopping Manchester City, and if it's David Silva who's out, somebody else will come in and create enough problems for Newcastle tonight, I'm sure. And there are players like Kevin De Bruyne who's having a fabulous season. Aguero as well, who always seems to score against Newcastle. Yeah, these players are going to... I don't think the players in the Newcastle dressing room at the moment will be worrying about David Silva's not playing, so we'll be okay.
Well, this is the 9th match of a bumper Boxing Day sequence of games. Tomorrow, Crystal Palace against Arsenal rounds off match week 20 in the Premier League. And this seems a good time to take a look back at the weekend's action for the World's Best League.
It's ricocheting around. It's not clear, but Burnley have scored. Would you believe it?
Left foot in swing, flat, flicked out at 1-0. What a goal by old Ginger, as David Moyes calls him. James Collins returned.
Bueno in the penalty area. There's a comeback for him if he can do it. Cameron's with it, surely 1-0. It is going to be 1-0 to Huddersfield Town.
Collins heads it away, drops, Gosling, 1-1. Gosling gets the equaliser.
It's central. It's 30 yards out. Defoe takes it. It's a magnificent goal. A tremendous free kick from Stephen Defoe.
Did it well, all right. Back onto his right foot. Cross towards Mahrez at the back post. Aurelio Gomez can't keep it out. And Riyad Mahrez has given Leicester the lead.
Our goal before half-time would help them,
And it might just come for Mollawagwe at the back post on his first ever Premier League start.
That takes a great ball there.
Morata and Chelsea off to the perfect start in the second half.
Young's looking for the same ball. He nearly got it. Oh, it's the goal. It's a super finish this time from Lingard. With the back of his heel, he's flicked it past the goalkeeper.
Corner to Bournemouth, taken quickly. Loaded into the West Ham penalty area. Shalfrake, it's 2-1. Bournemouth from 1 down and now 2-1 on.
Towards the back post. It's 1-1. Ramadan Sami at the back post.
Comes a corner.
Glanced edge. And it's a lovely header from Marcus Alonso.
Cleverly delivers the ball to the
Back post, and it's found its way home, I'm sure. Doucouré scored. It's Doucouré who's given Watford the lead.
81 on cross. Begovic slips on Adamovic. Oh, he won't get an easy goal. Marko Adamovic equalises. Ball into the box. Back post. What a chance it is. It's turned in for 3-2. Marko Adamovic gets his second goal.
into a crowd of players. Lingard has equalised for United in the 91st minute.
Ball in, Ake across the face, it's 3 each.
Well, he said, look, I'll have a look at it, and he said that the linesman putting up his flag only means that he was drawing attention. got to say, I've never heard of it, and I can see in your faces, boys, how you're looking at me as I'm answering the question.
Well, the last voice you heard there was David Moyes. I'm going to start with that amazing game at the Vitality Stadium. I was there yesterday. It was absolutely crazy stuff. Let's just run you through the results. Tottenham 5, Southampton 2. Harry Kane with a hat-trick. Breaking Alan Shearer's record of the most Premier League goals in a calendar year, smashing it actually. Manchester United 2, Burnley 2. They had to come from 2-0 behind Jose Mourinho's side to salvage a point thanks to a double from Jesse Lingard in the second half. Liverpool 5, Swansea 0. Liverpool scintillating going forward. Big trouble for Swansea at the bottom of the table. Bournemouth 3, West Ham 3. We'll come on to that in a moment. Chelsea, Clive's old club, beat Brighton. Line quickly was Rob Elliott to collect the ball for Newcastle. Let's just run you through the two lineups in there.